To see everybody. Let's get this baby started. It
Yeah.
is time, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern time, or whatever time it happens to be that you are watching. Welcome to the Inner Circle Breakthrough Session for August 10th. And we're just happy to have you with us. Here is the opportunity of helping you with breakthroughs so that, and especially from Robert Hollis, who is our guide, our
Eastern
mentor, the
time,
gentleman who
whatever
will be
time it
helping
happens to
us
be, that
get
you
this
are watching.
going.
Welcome to
And
the
I
Inner
love it when
Circle
I have
Breakthrough
three different
Session
windows
for
that are
August
talking to
10th.
me all at
And
once
we're
and
just
trying to
happy
figure
to
out
have
which
you with
ones
us.
are
Here is the
speaking.
opportunity of helping you with breakthroughs so that,
Sounds
and
like it's
especially
yours.
from Robert Hollis, who is our guide.
There we go. I don't know why, Robert, but we were hearing it. It sounded like through you.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
whatever. Exactly. Well, all right, let's go ahead and get things rolling. Welcome to the Inner Circle, everybody. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. Just before we do get started with Robert, congratulations, Robert. We have 6,015 subscribers to the channel, to the YouTube channel. So we are on our way to move up to 7,000, our next level, of course. And welcome, welcome, welcome to our new Inner Circle subscribers. Gwen Mullen, Nancy R. Nair, and Erlene Day. Thank you so much and welcome to our Inner Circle. Let's go ahead and just get right to it. For those of you who would like to share something with Robert and look for a breakthrough, it's very simple to do. Ask that you raise your hand here in Zoom. You can also ask a question in the chat on YouTube. Either way, you can ask questions on YouTube or here in Zoom by just going to the chat, typing your question, boom, done. What we like to do, what makes this so unique and different, is the fact that you can get one on one with Robert Hollis. And that's very easy to do. All you do is you put your cursor in the middle of the screen if you are on Zoom. This is only if you're on Zoom. If you're not on Zoom and you're watching on YouTube, you want to get to Zoom, I'll put the link in the chat in just a moment. It's very easy to do. If you're on Zoom, put your cursor in the middle of the screen. There's buttons on the bottom of that screen. There's one button that says reactions. Click on that. Then click on the next button that appears that says raise hand, and we will go ahead and call upon you. That's how simple it is to talk directly to Robert Hollis. And we give Robert usually a couple of minutes to open up. So without further ado, and I should also say thank you so much to the people who have so far donated into the super chat in YouTube. James Saunders, Bill Shoemaker, bless you guys very, very much. Thank you so much. And if you are on YouTube and you want to donate to the super chat, just click that $ at the bottom of the chat on YouTube and then go ahead and enter the amount that you'd like. The money that we collect from that will go to charities that Robert supports 100%. So let's do this. Robert, great to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Mr. Robert Hollis.
thank you so much, Craig, the hostess with the mostest. And again, thank you for all the Inner Circle people and also the super chatters. I love and appreciate you so much. So what an exciting week, huh? A lot of stuff going on. How many people were able to catch Joshua's interview? Did any of you get anything from Joshua's interview? It was funny because the one thing that I loved that he said in that interview, of course I would hear in stuff different, and he goes, yeah, he said, when I got rid of everything and just did what you did, that's when it exploded. And so, the way my mentor explained it to me is like I've shared with you guys before. It's if you guys know anything about automobiles, you don't get a chance to get sort of right. You know what I mean? When it comes to automobiles and racing, your car's either tuned or it's not. It's either set up or it's not. And if you watch any kind of racing whatsoever, there's always two people that are on headsets. the guy in the lead that says, oh my God, this freaking car is on rails. And what it means by rails is it's taking him hardly nothing to steer the car. It's just perfectly glides in, glides out. And then on the big racetracks, with the guys that have good cars, you don't see them letting out of the gas. I mean, when you got your car really set up, it's all the way to the floor, and it just does this thing where it just nice glides into the corner, goes all the way up to the wall, screams down the straightaway. And then you got the other person, right? And what's the other person saying? I can't control this thing. It's so it's like it's pushing or it's sliding, you know. So you always will hear people that'll actually say something funny like it's driving like a dump truck. So you watch their specs and they're jumping on the gas, and then all of a sudden they got to let off the gas, and then they're feathering the gas pedal, you know, and the car is like moving around, and you see the guy doing this inside of the car, you know, because it's going all over the place. That's not fun to drive. And when you're on the edge like that, it's like you got another car that's actually, I've watched so many races in my life, and every once in a while you'll get a car that's set up so good that they virtually will lap everybody else on the track. And so all these car manufacturers, they set up their cars to be as close as to all of them, right? So they only get to deal with a couple of things in the car, like tire pressure and how you set camber and caster, you know, and how you offset the wheels. And there's only a few things that you can mess with, but when you really hit it, then all of a sudden it's like this magic thing happens. And so it's so funny to me because the only other area that I could share this with you guys is, of course, you know, I've shared with before, you can find the perfect meal, and you got these people that have, you know, generations of a recipe that's passed down. And you have this dessert or you have this meal, and it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And you guys know that I've already done a video on this. I don't know why people have to change everything. And it's like, I think the biggest lie that we can tell ourselves, yeah, you know, I just changed it a little bit. I just changed it a little bit. And it's like, we don't know why this duplication thing doesn't happen. So hearing Joshua, you know, I think one of the things, if you guys are Joshua's friends, you know, right now, today, he's celebrating his mother's birthday. And, you know, he bought a piece of property. And then after he bought the piece of property, he built a home. And you want to talk about me getting emotional today is when I seen him celebrating his mom. And then you see the neighborhood that they live in, and you see the house that he built for her, and the other place that they're building, that an extra building onto that. And you're like, oh my God, it just choked me up, because I can guarantee that everybody that watches that will go, that's not the kind of house I imagined. You know what I mean? But I guarantee you that Joshua doing that for his mom and his siblings in that area, I can guarantee you they're the walk of the village, man. No doubt about it. So yeah, so I just want to say before we get into any breakthroughs is you know, I really honestly pray for that for you. If you guys ever wonder why Robert Hollis does what he does, it's stories like that I've had my whole entire career. Is where you get a hold of somebody, they throw caution to the wind, here's the only thing. they not only do exactly what you tell them to do, but they 1000% believe that it will work. No doubt at all that if Robert's using this bait and this fishing rod in this pond, and he casts right over there, he just keeps casting there. If he caught that monster, then I need to use the bait, I need to use the fishing rod, and I just got to keep casting there. And so, throughout my whole career, I was adding up, and this is people that make a full-time income, not the crazy money that we talk about, but having a group that explodes like Joshua's. This has happened to me over 120 times in 36 years, where I just keep working with somebody and then they hit the combination and then it explodes. And the only thing that I have, you guys heard me say this, that the worst kind of success is a little. If you guys want to personally know what happened to Aaron and Kathy Parker, that's exactly what happened. And it happens to me all the time. So, he's going to listen to me. He put me on the first Zooms. We had this little process that everyone did. He went flying up the ranks. Then he changed everything. So it's crazy that Aaron's never made more money with anyone or any company than he did with MDC and then me. And there was two things that happened, so we can get this clear. How many of you guys know that Aaron wouldn't even have made it past 25K if I wouldn't have gave him a leg? So how many people know who Tammy and Andre Popa are? All right. That was front level to me. That was my leg. So I not only gave it to Aaron because I wanted to help him, but I personally gave him enrollment to the leg. So now all he needed to do, him and Kathy, was to build one leg. They got a bunch of affiliate marketers in there, like Ron Deering, Carlos, all those people that was in that leg. And then 3 years ago, they heard about Forsage. And they all left him for the crypto thing. And Forsage is the gift that keeps giving. Because 5 of those people, Sherry, Ron, Carlos, they're still dealing with legal fees and the government's still after them. So not only the program goes under, but nowadays these scams that people get involved in, they go after the top income earners of those scams as well. They're sick and tired of everybody just pointing, I didn't know it was a scam because this guy said it wasn't a scam. No, now they go after, just like Zeke Rewards, they go after the top 10 people. And so, Ron Deering and Carlos still can't do any network marketing or anything to this day. I still talk to them easily on a weekly basis. They're just good friends, you know what I mean? So I always want to know what's going on. So 3 years ago, when that left, Aaron could never, ever get his thoughts back. Every time we had long conversations with him, Jenna tried to help him, Josh tried to help him, I tried to help him. And it was like he just always had this closed group thing. And I found out from a bunch of people after he's gone now that, they would have to sit through these 2 and 3 hour trainings on Sundays. And it's just like, I don't know how to do 4-hour trainings. It's like everything that I can teach can be taught an hour. You just gotta do that thing, right? So I wish Aaron and Kathy, when other people leave me or leave a company, I just hope that they reset, become coachable, and learn. And Yeah, because what I think is hilarious, and I'll leave it at this, is the word on the street is Aaron found out how to get Trinot to give him $120,000. So he's not going over there to learn. He's going over there as a paid leader to teach these people what to do. OMG. If someone would say, hey, my wife, she's, God bless her, she's not like me. She's like, she's going, yeah, she says, isn't John and Vivian Singh over there? And I said, yeah. He goes, maybe I should reach out to them, see if I can talk to the owner of the company. And why don't we tell him that that Kathy and Aaron have been living on $4,500 a month for the past 3 years. That's what they were making. So this is the inner circle. So I get to share stuff like this with the inner circle. So if you guys know people that are, getting wined and dined over there, it's like, I remember one other thing, when I started working with James and some of the other people, I remember even having a conversation with Coach Bob. And the very first thing I say is, hey, listen, when you're teaching people how to drive in depth, did Aaron ever reach out to you, find out who your top people is, and then showed you how to connect them and introduce them to you? Yeah. So Jay and James and Coach Bob and it's like I always asked him why he didn't do that. And he just bottom line didn't feel comfortable. Coach Bob asked if the Popas are still involved. No, Andre and Tammy got into the conspiracy theory seminar system. So if you want to get a hold of Andre Popa, he can introduce you to John F. K because he's not really dead. I gotta stop. I'll go off the deep end here. And he got paid. He got paid money to speak on stage and go all over the world talking about these conspiracy theories. So they just gave their business to their daughter. So their daughter still got a position that, believe it or not, it qualifies like at 25K. And here's another one too. Chris Record, he qualifies at 25K every month because he brought in a bunch of front levels. So all of those front levels, like me right now, I have 164 front levels. You can divide that between a lot of people and hit ranks pretty easy. So it's yeah. Chris, who wrote that? Coach Bob? Yeah. So that is the mental thinking again behind being an affiliate marketer and being a network marketer. So I'll say one thing about Chris Record is he asked me to be on a couple of webinars with him at the very beginning. And the very first thing that he got on and said is, I don't believe in network marketing. So Josh Wagle doesn't know how to really do business. And so we're all just going to build one leg and we're not going to worry about the binary. I was like, wow, the check matching comes off the residual. Yeah. So 2/3 of my check I would not get if I wasn't a network marketer. So I'll just, yeah. I Coach Bob, all I want to know is who got the car. You know what I mean? He had a contest and he was giving away that nice BMW, and I don't know if anyone got it. So anyway, well, let's go back to the positives and the wins. Okay, so who's first?
Well, I see John Tier and Rita Brooks both with their hands up. Why don't we go ahead, because John's was first. Let's go ahead and add John to the spotlight. Open up, John, please, and share with us.
Boy, oh boy, Robert. You know what? I've changed your name, Robert. It's now Robert Yoda Hollis. And I'm just a young Padawan now.
uh, I love you, John. Thank you for saying that. I get so much credit, after time goes by. It seems like the older I get, the more we move on in this industry and even in this company, is like people are starting to go, maybe that guy knows what's going on. You know what I mean? And what I think is funny is people don't know that I learned this stuff from other Yodas.
Okay.
That's the most mind-boggling. It's like still to this day, people see how well I do this business and they still think I came up with this stuff.
Listen, Robert, you know what? I wrote something down based off that interview yesterday, and this might sound kind of crazy, but I said, wow, Robert has taken away my yeah buts. And for anybody who might not understand that, I still had some Dinos going on in my head, because Robert would talk about, Tomas, doing stuff. And I was like, yeah, but he was a leader anyway. And then Candace Bird, well, she had sales skills and all the other people that they would mention. And then Joshua came along, and it was like none of those other things, and the things that he did worked for him. And it was like so much for the earbuds, that's just that you got nothing. You got nothing.
I told him, I told him before the interview, I said, if I find out later that all you did was tell people what I currently teach and you won't tell people what you're doing, I said, we no longer have a mentorship friend relationship. And so I could see his hesitancy when he was talking about giving away the gift. You know what I mean? And I was going, well, what exactly do you give? And he goes, well, the book that really impacted me was Og Mandino's book. I did that, and that's what really affected me. So I want to make sure everyone gets that. And I went, I want you to say that. And he's like, really? It was like, this was sort of like a secret where he was adding just a little more sugar than everybody else. and I thought that was pretty cool. So I told him I wanted him to post that underneath the YouTube video, and I seen he did that.
The other thing was, people always say they want a script, but if you listen to Joshua, and I've said this before, that it's not in the words you say, but it's in the feeling you convey. And his passion, the passion that he had when he was talking about you could feel that. And it's like, man, that's where my heart and my head is headed towards, where it's just not, look, this guy is who he is. This guy's the best of the best in the industry. This guy has helped so many people. You just got to take a listen to him. And if you don't want to listen to him, you're not the right person anyway.
John, Mary brought this up, and she said to me, I really understand why you believe that the Science of Getting Rich was an ultimate turn for you. And she said, but if you don't mind, I'm just going to tell people about you instead of Wallace Waddles. And I went, okay. because I definitely promoted before the Science of Getting Rich. Yeah, I was promoting Bill Gould every day, all day. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is the guy that personally works with me, that shared with me what to do. And so yeah.
And I really get that. I really get that, because I think sometimes the Science of Getting Rich is beyond a lot of people's understanding. And because I used to do the God Memorandum, I love the God Memorandum, and it seemed to touch more hearts with the God Memorandum. So when Joshua said that, I was like, I definitely understand that. And Robert, like I said, man, and I'm out of here, but you are the best of the best, man. You're the Grandmaster, the Yoda. And I've been in the industry a little bit longer than you have, but you are the only one who's ever does business. The way you do business it's so, and no one has ever taught this.
Yeah, honestly, John, the only thing that I did when I left my mentor, so you guys know, when I left Bill Gould, that was October of 92. October of 92. Matthew, a few months old. And the very first thing that I did is I went on this crazy sabbatical. Just stopped doing business, had a lot of money in the bank. And all I wanted to find out is Bill kept teaching that whisper down the lane, and I was going, okay, I get why Bill teaches what he does, but that's how I found Bob Proctor. That's how I found Jim Rohn. That's how I found Larry Huff and Larry Thompson. That introduced me to, found out about Earl Schoaf. And when we went all the way back to Earl Schoaf, and then Ron Henley is like a historian of network marketing. And so I'm the company that Earl Schoaf had, and the people that were in the room were like Jim Rohn, Larry Huff, Larry Thompson, Rich DeVos, John Van Alden. And I'm like going, and believe it or not, Mark Hughes, I mean, the guy that started Herbalife. All of a sudden you found Bill Gould. All of a sudden you found all these people that learned from that. And so that's why I devoured everything that Jim Rohn had, everything. And then from there is when I thought, well, who else learned from that part? And that's when I found out about Big Al Schroeder. But Big Al Schroeder is more on the sales side. He's really teaches you how to sell. And if you guys don't know anything about Big Al, he used to have a newsletter, and he would almost every newsletter he'd write a joke about his worthless sponsor. He actually calls them worthless sponsor jokes, and just hilarious. And then that's when I found out about Don Fala. And so when I found out about Don Fala, and I first read Don Fala's book, and I was going like, oh man, because Bill pushed it way off to a side that's not duplicatable. I had 11 offices. And if you guys seen my offices, it's the nicest offices you've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And we had offices that on floors of buildings, and people, we would run ads. People would come, we would do presentations at 10 o'clock Monday through Friday, and 2 o'clock Monday through Friday, 7:30 Tuesdays and Thursday nights, and 10:30 in the morning on Saturday. After we did the presentation on Saturday, we would do a 2-hour training. That's it. So I had 11 offices with probably 5 to 10 people in each office that were full-time running ads in newspapers, answering those calls and bringing people into. So there was 30 to 200 people we would see a week, brand new people. And Bill had this machine going, man, just this machine. So when I left Bill, there was a lot of stuff that he was telling us to do that was for his benefit, nothing to do with the network marketing benefit. Like Josh Wagle just reached out to me recently, and he said, what did Bill charge for trainings? And I said, well, our first building blocks was $350. That's 36 years ago, you guys. $350 for the first training, $850 for the second training, $1,000 for the third, $1,500 for the fourth, and $5,000 for the fifth. So if you guys ever heard of these tiered trainings that Tony Robbins does, Tony Robbins got that from my mentor.
Wow.
So I watched my mentor make $12 million in a weekend, and it's documented by 2020. So John Stossel snuck into our event, $850 a ticket, and there was 9,000 people there. And guess what he did? Characters. That's what Zeta and I got the character stuff. So yeah, so it was difficult for me when I left my mentor that I had to take away all the stuff that he added and get
Mhm.
back to the basics. So when I met, so here's all the trainings that I just told you guys about. And then I read Don Fela's book, and he's going, listen, training's a training's an hour. You teach people how to be able to connect, give them the gift. His gift was the book. Oh, by the way, buy a couple of cases of these books from me so you can give the gift away.
Right. Right.
And yeah, I was blown away, and I'm all of a sudden going, wow, we do all these presentations. And he's like, listen, you don't do presentations, they're not duplicatable. So you guys got to understand, when I met these guys, all the stuff that I had to get rid of, and this sounds mean, but that's why Bill was such a great mentor. I had to clean out all the dark force.
Mm-hmm.
So Bill Gould was the best mentor in the world, because I got to learn all the good stuff and all the bad stuff at the same time. So when people like, it's still mind-boggling to me, that his whole philosophy, Don Fela's and Earl Scholes and Jim Rohn, was, if people won't do the basics, why do you got to teach advanced stuff? And the people that teach advanced stuff goes, well, because people will pay you for it.
Wow.
So if they're going to do nothing, talk them into going to a training so we can still get some more of their money.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Robert, let me say this. When I say that, you are the best of the best, a lot of people don't know. So I was in the Amway business, okay, for quite some time. And, I'm familiar with Brig and familiar with Frank Sosanek. Matter of fact, Frank Sosanek's on the phone. These are some really heavy hitters,
Yeah.
In the industry. And so, but their philosophy of doing business is different.
Yeah, you get to see like Dexter Yeager, you get to see
Yes.
that, when some people say, wow, did you hear how much these guys made? And the following thing for people that knew is they would always say, yeah, but they made more money off training than they made off commissions from their downline.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
that
I will tell you this. That book of the month, that training of the week,
yeah.
it changed. It helped me quite a bit.
Oh yeah, it's like my video that I do every day. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, just don't have to charge people for it.
Right, exactly. But it did shift my mindset. It did. That book of the month, especially, that definitely changed my mindset.
Well, John, thank you so much. I think I keep interrupting you and talking because I just need to accept what you said, and I was trying to divert because it was making me feel uncomfortable.
No, man, you are the best of the best, man. I mean that from the heart. Like I said, I've been around the industry a little bit longer than you. I've seen a lot of people who talk a lot of stuff, and and just between you and me and this inner circle, I already knew that Aaron was in trouble. I knew he was in trouble in Dallas. When I heard someone saying that I don't know who he was talking to. I'm sitting at lunch and someone saying, well, Aaron's saying his income is going backwards. And then he went out and he did this training, and I was like, that's not what Robert does. I mean, it was this Facebook training. They had like 10 slides or something. It was a lot of stuff. I was just like, man, I think it came out, and I texted you, and I was like, Robert, what's going on here? And you told me, you said, you can't recruit your way and you can't sell your way to the top. You have to duplicate your way to the top.
Best line ever, man. Best line ever.
All right, guys.
Quote from John Tier.
No, that was from Robert. I got that from you.
that gave me chills. If you guys hear what he said right there, let me just give you guys a simple equation. If you don't have people in your group that are making an income that they're proud of, you're self-employed, bro. You are frickin' self-employed, and you love hearing yourself talk.
Mhm.
Because if you ask me how many people I have in my group that's making a full-time income, some of you don't even have to go, yeah, I know you got people in your group that are, that's called leverage.
Yeah.
Right? So Laszlo in Hungary and Shandor in Hungary and Arpad in Romania and Judith. It's like now Joshua and Mosh and Joshua and Candace Bird Davis. There's people in my group that are cranking it out, doing it the way they want to do it. Not, some people don't duplicate. So then what it does is it disappears and they got to learn the lesson and build it back. And then it disappears and it builds it back. And it's like, I'm not interested. Bill Gould used to tell me all the time, don't recruit leaders that know everything. So some people know better than me, and they just can keep rebuilding their group every year. It's like, I'm here when you're ready. So John, I love you, man. Thank you so much.
You too, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John, thank you so much. Great share. Okay, let's keep moving forward. Let's see, Rita Brooks. There you go. If you go ahead, unmute yourself, please share with us.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Rita.
Hi, Robert. Try not to get emotional.
I wanted to give you a big hug. I wish I was here.
I know. So, breakthroughs. Wow. This week, since I joined the Inner Circle, and I have to say to you, and I always tell you this, I'm so happy that you are so open and willing to always communicate. Because I know you don't really know me personally, but
I still love you. I still love you.
I know. I get you. I get that. You are the reason why I'm still here, because if you don't know, you all talking like John is like, well, I've been here and I've been around, and I had no networking experience. So
right.
If you get in the wrong lineage or sponsorship or whatever, you're thinking you're supposed to do what they tell you to do.
Yeah.
And so I'm grateful that you've always been around. You've always given away things free. And we could access it, even though we were trying to deal, I speak for myself,
right,
trying to deal with what your upline, and I happen to be in that lineage with the John Popers and the Aaron Parkers and the everybody. So I didn't know, I knew that I couldn't relate to Andre. I just could not relate to him. I couldn't figure it out, but I was like, well, I don't know if I could prosper here, because if you can't relate to someone. But I could go to your training. You would reach out. Once you said, don't send me a long message, you taught me that you could send voice messages through Messenger.
Yes.
I didn't know that. And then I started just sending you a note every once in a while. And it's amazing to me that you always would just come right back quickly. I'm like, when I hear other people say that, then I'm like, okay, well, that's who he is. Because I'm like, that's awesome that you can reach out to someone of your caliber and they're like so responsive. When you have,
I'm just your sister.
Okay,
You're my sister.
I'm good with that. You can be my sister. You can be whatever you want to be. Because, you have this upline, you have this sponsor, you have the person that brought you in here, and you can't get that from them. And then they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Selling you all kind of stuff and doing all these different things. And I know in my own personal experience, for a lot of people who don't know me, I've been around like 5 years. I came in as a customer, and I was a customer August 2018 I met the sponsor from a real estate group. I had never really met him, just like Zoom. We were doing stuff on Zoom, the real estate investment group, and they were, I had figured out I needed to use CBD, but I didn't know which one. And he happened to send a message to the real estate group, literally while I was on Amazon, looking at all these different CBD products, trying to figure out.
It was
which
like
one
a
I should
sign,
get.
man.
So he said, I got this hemp works and it's working. I had tried other things, and I'm like, okay, well, that works for me. You said use hemp works. I got the 4-pack because I wanted to get mine. I wanted to get my sister one. I wanted to get one for my friend. And I said, if it costs $20 to help you out to be an affiliate at that time,
Right.
no problem. I'll give you $20. It's no biggie. You saved me all this time and energy trying to figure out which CBD product I should use. So
Awesome.
then, I think it was so easy to get me in that they just kind of took it for granted that, it's like, do this and just call everybody you know.
I just love when we're the right people at the right time.
Right.
That we forget that. We forget that you went, all right, I'm just hoping and praying that this CBD does what it's supposed to for me. And so I'm going to look online and look through Amazon. And then I get this message and you're like, oh, this has got to be a sign.
That'll help me out. I'm good.
And get in and buy more than you needed to, because you're going to give it away to your friends. And so why wouldn't you have a mentality that everyone will do this? I mean, why wouldn't they do this? And then all of a sudden you find out seems like no one's interested.
I wasn't trying to build the business.
You're giving away the product. Yeah.
But the value of that, getting someone to be an affiliate, is all the information kept coming through.
Yeah.
And then this was August 18, 2018. And then we had an event in Las Vegas in October 2018. And they were like, come to the convention. You got to come to the convention. So I'm like, okay, but I don't even know what the convention is, but I'm going to be in Las Vegas. And I literally ended up extending I took a shuttle to the airport, and I got to extend my flight by 36 hours the next Sunday morning at 6 a.m. So I just took the shuttle out to Red Rock because I had never been to Red Rock. I was like, well, I've only been on the Strip, so let's go to Red Rock and see. And some things worked out with a ticket for the real estate, and I got that money, and I put that money on going to the convention. I'm like, I'm out here in Las Vegas, so let me go see, is this real? Are these real people?
Yeah.
What is this? Because I'm just trying to use CBD, but you keep telling me, do this, go here, come do, so I'm like, I'm out here, let me just check it out. So I come to the convention in Red Rock. You are like one of the first people I see. I've had enough information to know who you are, because the emails, and they're talking about it, and they want you to come to the meetings. And I do, I'm kind of like, okay. So you took a picture with me and you were like, you're awesome. I'm like, okay, well, all right, cool. Okay. I saw Jenna and Josh. The 36 hours of the convention was a whirlwind, but I was like, okay, they got the new coffee now, and they got CBD, and everybody's happy. And I literally did not. I had one night, I had a room for the first night. I stayed up all night and took my flight out at 6 a.m. So then I'm coming back and I'm like, okay, well, it's real. It's the real people. It's not a hoax or a scam. So, but I kind of just was still in my, customer mode.
Sure.
Until October 2019. I said, okay, I'm going to go to the convention for me now, because I want to see, I'm really going to see if this is what it is and make a decision. And I did decide to do the business, but I also had created some circumstances in my job that I don't regret, because I got a chance to do something significant in terms of cultural heritage and Black history. And then now my institution is recognizing everybody's culture, Arab culture, Asian culture, Latinx culture, Native American culture. And so those things are valuable, but I realized that the job was not gonna, it doesn't give you time to do anything when you have to spend a lot of energy. So yeah, then you said something significant tonight. And Andre Popa this is like October 2019. And so all of 2020 became COVID and conspiracy theories and politics. I'm like,
yeah, I mean,
I'm not signing up for meetings that I have to come
you're
to.
constantly doing posts on social media. That's what, I'm going to do a video next week because you guys have always heard me talk about, 33 and a third, 33 and a third. And someone must be on the same energy wavelength because I seen a video and it was called the rule of thirds. And it's just a real thing that you got a lot of people that don't care and they're neutral. And then you got people that will just outright fight you because they don't believe in what you believe. And then you got another third that just thinks you're right on the money. And so I was watching and sad to say that I watched Aaron get in that same mode. I do not understand. If you stand for something, I should be able to see it on your website. I should be able to see it on your Facebook page, and so people would not post anything about their group or their rank advancements or anything to promote the company. They just would promote them. But as soon as they could get into this conspiracy theory things, every post on their wall was about these conspiracy theories. And I'm going like, well, it's pretty damn obvious that you put on your Facebook page what you believe in. So maybe you don't believe in MDC. You believe in you.
It creates doubt. That creates
yeah. It's like
you're like, well, did I do this? Am I supposed to? I'm not really relating to this at all. That's not why I signed up. So
and you're allowed.
I don't know if I can do this. So you're like, it's a conflict. And so then I'm conflicted. And then, and then life got in the way. Like I said, for me, where I live and the people I am, COVID was the issue. People were perishing and things got, so 2021 became, let's figure that out. But when I came back to it and said, okay, now I should really pay attention and do this. Andre was gone, and I was like, I was relieved. I was like, okay, so now he's gone. I don't have to deal with that part of it.
Well, we got you and some of the other people. Coach Bob, they always say that the cream rises to the top. So I'm glad you guys are still here, and
it's because of you. So then I'm with Aaron now, and I'm trying to get into Aaron, and Aaron is doing his thing, and he's got more hype energy than I got. So it's been it's been a real thing for me.
Have you guys seen those TikTok things where you try to you put your mouth full of water and then you try not to spit it out? You almost got me, Rita. You almost got me because you guys tell that Rita just comes from her heart? Rita doesn't know how to not come from her heart. So when she said, Aaron's on there with his hype stuff.
But I always could come back and say, okay, well, I may not be able to watch it in real time, but I could always come back to a replay and just like, okay, so Robert is kind of balancing out the other stuff that I don't have to deal with because I'm not quite grasping. It's just so not selfish, but or you talk about yourself a lot, but you talk about yourself in a way that's educative and we can learn something that we can use and we can apply it to our
I've actually had people say, Robert, I don't think you should be so self-deprivation. You know what I mean? So I'm laughing at myself because I got to be the most imperfect person I know. So I deal with the Dinos, I deal with, all the stuff. So I've always just tried to figure out, my concern, if you guys want to know my philosophy of teaching and helping people, is I know that the reason that people don't do the things that they know they should is because they don't have the faith and belief in their self or what they're doing. End of story. So that's the reason for the breakthroughs, is to figure out what one of these things that see, they say that they believe, they just don't believe. Because if you believed, you wouldn't procrastinate. You'd have your vision of stuff that you want to hit, and you'll just go out and hit it and do the thing, go through the numbers. So for me, it was always like, this is not about me. This is what could I get through to Rita or anybody else to make them go, I believe this is the way I should do it, and I just need to pitch people. You know what I mean? It's like
when you're in a team and you think you're supposed to follow the leader,
yeah,
and your leaders are all over the place, and it's almost like, oh well, I'm kind of stepping outside my group if I go and listen to Robert. But if I didn't listen to Robert, I wouldn't still be here.
yeah.
And to make a long story short, so I've never achieved exactly what I thought. But I turned 65 in March, and I quit my job because
Wow.
I decided that
Congratulations.
I had enough of them, and
Congratulations.
time for me. And if I'm going to do this business, I have to have the ability to focus on it because the job is distracting. So I'm thinking like, okay, my 65th birthday party, my 60th birthday, I've given myself this gift. And then all this stuff started happening. And we go to Dallas, and I get boot camp, and I'm like, yeah, I'm literally crying at boot camp because it's February, and I'm like, I'm quitting my job. I'm going to quit my job. I'm ready to quit my job. So I did it on my birthday, March 28th, or actually I quit on March 24th. So then I'm like ready. April, I was kind of like, I did some things better than usual in the 420, but it's been like a detox. I had to detox from this job, and I've been studying. I wanted to learn. I didn't know social media as well. I didn't know video as well. I'm ready. And I'm like, well, where is Aaron? He's AWOL. Where is he? He's like, no hype. There's no hype coming from Aaron. So I'm back into AMA and looking at Robert stuff because
awesome.
You have it out there. Like Joshua said yesterday, it's all out there for free. So just go on out there and read what Robert's got. And I think something that James said at one of the AMMs I was listening to on the recording, because I saw the Inner Circle, but I was still trying to get I need to learn how to do video. I need to learn.
Sure.
Video. I've been, drilling deep and found a course with this guy named Mark Harbert. And I'm gonna, he's helping me do that.
I know Mark really well.
So I'm like, okay, well, where's Aaron? And then he comes up like, I'm leaving. I'm like, well, no, we have this little what? No, James said something about just do what Robert says. And I'm like, okay, well, he's having success. Just do what Robert says. I'm like, okay, so I don't know where Aaron is, and I'm learning what to do. So I'm gonna just try to get more into Robert. And so then I got the what do you call this? Inner Circle thing last week. And that first meeting, it was like, oh, this is the real Inner Circle. Because you were like talking about stuff. And I'm like, and I was wondering about that. And now this is my second Inner Circle. And you're like, you explained what happened to Andre. I'm like, well, I could figure that out, but I was glad I couldn't relate to him. So now I figured out, I talked to Aaron, I asked him, well, what's up? I went to his thing Monday to find out, and he was talking about, what he's doing next. And then Tina was there, Tina Carroll. And I'm like, okay, no. I don't know, no disrespect to them. And I told him no shade, you got to do what you got to do. But I just quit my job because I don't want to go over here and do this.
I'll walk you through. I think the biggest thing, Rita, I could share with you to do, and it is like what I would share with you is there's nothing that's going to build your confidence and belief in Rita being successful at this business. Is if I could tell you what to do, the only things I would tell you to do is just focus on the things that matter most. because sometimes we feel we have to learn all these other things when in reality we don't. So the things that you got to get good at, I've been giving Mary a bunch of kudos, because, you know, I told her, listen, you need to focus on, I want you to get to 5,000 friends as fast as you can on Facebook, because this focuses you on how to connect with strangers online. And so people can talk about, you know, email lists and videos and doing attraction marketing and all of that stuff. That stuff is not duplicatable, Rita. So when you're learning things that you think will build your brand, that doesn't work in network marketing.
But like you're saying, you need to build your 5,000 Facebook friends.
Yeah.
I have to stop being afraid of Facebook, and I have to stop being afraid
Yes.
of social media.
So
And
there's yeah. So what marketers like Mark and Ray Higdon and people that focus on building a brand, what they're telling you is that you don't need to deal with that fear, that you can actually build something and the people will come to you.
That's what I'm getting. Yeah. That Ray Higdon, Mark, now you. John C. Maxwell's book about connecting with people so that I can.
I'm telling you, there's less than, just like everything else in the world, there's 1% of the people that have YouTube channels and they're influencers and they're on TikTok and they're doing Instagram. They got all these things. There's 1% of the people that are making a full-time income at doing that, just like in network marketing. See, so the thing that will allow you to really do good is like, if you have, when you watch Joshua Daramella, if you really watch the way he does this business, he's really, really good at, you know, empowering people and getting them results. And he doesn't do a lot of stuff that other people do, because I consistently keep talking him out of it. It's actually taking Joshua 2 years, a little over 2 years, to finally say, I'm not going to do all that other stuff. And I'm just going to focus on finding the right people at the right time.
Okay, so that's why we're here.
Yeah, and when he did that, and for those of you that are, you know, believers, there's a when you focus on the mark, and people always ask, what's my purpose? What's my calling? What's my passion? I'll tell you what it should be. All right. It's consistently helping other people feel better. Mm-hmm. That the way to greatness and the way to happiness, fulfillment, and success is helping other people get what they're looking for, showing them how to get there. That's impossible if you're not going to reach out. So I built my whole business around people going, exactly, Rita, when you sort of felt like you got a sign when someone reached out to you with talking about the CBD when you're looking for it, because I give away the connect with people and give away a gift. My best people I've ever found were people that like going, you know what? I was just asking God, you got to help me out. I know there's people that make a full-time income online. I know people make a full-time income on network marketing. I'm tired of struggling. You gotta help me. And ding, I'm sending them a voice message. Hi, Rita. I know we don't know each other, but I love connecting with people, and I hope this message finds you and yours blessed. And I'm hoping you have the best year ever. And they're like, thank you. Mm-hmm. And they're like, wow, thank you very much, blah, 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 gift. Hey, this book has really, really helped me. Here's the free audios and free videos to this book. This book has really helped me, and I'd love to give this to you.
And well, I'm here now, so you're going to have to adopt me, my sister.
Well, yeah,
I am not quitting And we're
I'm
gonna have to
telling,
figure this
I'm
out.
telling all of you, I'm telling all of you, you can tell people, no disrespect to your upline, you can tell people I work with Robert. For you guys, I'll tell you one other thing that I think is funny. It's not funny, and I don't want to be mean. I just want you to listen to this. There's been at least 100 people that have reached out to me in the last few days that have said, I didn't know you were my upline. Because Aaron's been telling people that he was personally sponsored by Jenna Zweigel. He did not want people to know who the hell I was. So he was saying, my sponsor, Jenna Zweigel. Every time he was on stage, Jenna Zweigel. You know, my sponsor is Jenna Zweigel. Jenna Zweigel is underneath Chris Robinson in the other leg of the company. I'm front level to the company, and Chris Robinson's front level to the company. Jenna's under Chris Robinson. So when Aaron got in and I helped him launch his business, and then all of a sudden he's telling everyone that I'm not his sponsor, I'm not his upline. I was going like, that's a whole different level of stuff I don't understand. So people are reaching out to me now because I know they're probably, some of them are calling the company and they're going, I heard that Aaron and Kathy are no longer with the company. You know, who's my upline super affiliate or whatever? And they're going, Robert Hollis. And people are sending me, I didn't know that you, holy crap. So now there's a lot of people being exposed to stuff that they've never, ever heard or seen before. And I can't imagine that I really need to just stop talking. I can't imagine doing everything in my power, not letting people know a super affiliate that was in the company that jumped in and broke the records. Yeah, I don't want you learning from this guy. it's like, hey, you know, it's like, wow. Yeah, and so I'm having fun meeting all the brand new people that are now discovering that I'm not only here, but I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you get results. And so that would be, you know, my first breakthrough session with you on Inner Circle, Rita, just ask yourself like I did 36 years ago. The quick story with me is I was going to be a crew chief in NASCAR. There's nothing stopping me from being a crew chief in NASCAR until my knee got hurt. And then I have people telling me I can't be a mechanic anymore. So it stole my identity. And so I still didn't believe him. I was going to rehab my knee and I was going to be a miracle regardless of what everybody said. And so then I have a friend that I met a couple of times go, I met this guy that makes 62 grand. He's a few years older than us. And he's looking for people that want to make six figures their first year. When I got in this business, you guys, listen closely, because this is one of the miracles of my story. So when I met my mentor, I looked at network marketing as temporary. This is something that I'm going to do temporary to make money until I can go back to be a crew chief. So this is what I said to my mentor, Rita, listen, I'm not interested in being on stage. I'll never wear a monkey suit or a tie. I'm an auto mechanic. I had the big mullet and a beard, drove my Harley back and forth to work every day. I just need you, Bill, to tell me exactly what to do. I don't want to do all this other garbage. And he goes, Robert, what would you do if I gave you 62 grand? I said, I'd pay off my bills. I'd get caught up on my bills. I'd fly to Montana and propose to my girlfriend and ask her to be my wife. And I said, then I'd be focused on rehab. And he says, would that excite you? And I said, it would totally excite me. He said, every day when you get up, you got to think about what you're going to do with the money that's coming to you. You got to get excited. I said, okay, I'll do that. That was his nice way of saying, you need to create a vision for yourself that you can get emotional about. But he would just say, get excited. What would you do if you had my money? I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this. Okay, great. Second thing, you got to approach strangers.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm ready for that.
Okay, how do you approach strangers? And this is what he said to me 36 years ago. He goes, watch, this is really complicated. And he took 4 steps away from me and he turned around and looked at me and smiled. And he goes, this is how you approach people. I'm going like, what an asshole. Because I'm overthinking. See, I'm overthinking. I got Dino in my head telling me, you know, stranger danger. I got all these stuff. And he goes, Robert, you approach people with a smile on your face and your hand out. That's how you approach people. So then what's my next question right now? Oh, I don't know what to say. He goes, this is a hard one. Hi, how are you? I'm going like, you know, because I'm so scared. I'm worried about rejection. What if they tell me to get away from them? What if they call the police on me? You know, it's like when we overthink, right? And he said, when they say hi, say, my name's Robert. What's your name? And then the next thing you want to say to them is just something that would, you know, connect with them. Ask them, do you work around here? Yeah, how's that going? And then the next step, say, I was hoping you could do me a huge favor. I'd really appreciate it. And pause. And when they say, well, I don't know, what is it, whatever, just say, I'm helping a company expand. We're looking for people that would like to make extra money. Do you know of anyone? He goes, Robert, 100% of the times they're going to say, well, what is this? And then you need to say to them, listen, if I can get your number, get a little spiral notebook. If I could get your phone number, I'll call you back when you get off work and we'll set a time for you to watch a video. He goes, Robert, if you get 70 people to watch that video in your first 30 days, you'll no longer ask how this business works. And I said, I'm not only going to do that, but if it doesn't work, I'm going to come find you. And so, man, it was difficult for me to finally break that. But when, you know, first day I went out, I got sick to my stomach. My hands are sweating. I didn't talk to anybody. Then the next day I went out and gave away a business card. He told me not to buy business cards. I did it anyway. So it was funny. I handed out business cards and no one called me. I think he probably already knew that. But we always are looking for shortcuts, Rita, to do it. So if you watch the one video that I did recently talking about the boxes, you know, that's how I help Melody become a 7-figure earner, is when you can ask yourself every day, how many brand new people did you talk to today that you didn't know before? If you'll focus on that, Rita, and push through and get okay with that, and then get good at that, and then get gooder at that, and then get gooder and gooder and gooder at that, you will change millions of people's lives. That's the only thing you got to get good at. So what we do to stop from doing that is, maybe if I can buy another course, maybe if I could get Kajabi or, you know, a Confusionsoft and build an email list, and maybe if I built a website, and maybe if I built a brand, you know. And it's funny because there's one person right now that you guys all know, and I brought this, I think, up in another inner circle. And I even brought this up on right now, they're calling the inner circle now for MDC, the Mastermind Alliance. And they were going, what's everybody doing? And so I always laugh with the people that are leaders in the company because they won't listen to me. So I said, have you guys seen Hannah Gallagher's Facebook page? And I know there's me and 2 other people that are her friends. So I know they're not seeing Hannah's page. And I go, you look at Hannah Gallagher's page and you'll understand why that girl is flying to the top of the company. Because her whole Facebook page is about what she's doing in MDC. Compliance hasn't got to her yet. So every payday, all of her girls are showing what they made that week. They're showing all the results on the products that they're getting. And it was only me and her that had rank advancements for the last 2 months. So when they do the monthly call and they show all the rank advancements, it's like 3/4 are my group and the other quarter are in her group. And I think that I don't know. I know I'm weird, Rita. If I seen someone doing nothing but posting rank advances on their Facebook page, another 1K, another 1K, another 3 1Ks, another 5K, another 5K, another 10K, wow, and 25K. Oh, we got another 25K, another 5K, another 10K, another 1K, 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 1K. You would think that people would go, I should just do what she's doing.
That's what I reached out to you the other day and said, thank you for these posts this week, actually.
Yeah.
Because
and so
everything is like crystallized and like,
So Hannah Gallagher told me I'm the only leader that reached out to her. I went and met her in Budapest, Hungary. I told her I'm here to help you. And I immediately after meeting her, I sent her a friend request on Facebook and became her friend.
And Joshua was the third person that said you did that. And because you immediately you reached out to the guy in Hungary when he said nobody came back to him. And Joshua said nobody responded to him. He looked you up and you responded. And I'm like, I have to get comfortable, letting people, because I get a lot of, requests from people about look them up, like you say, and they're like, they've been on there for 2 days and I don't think they're real. So I'm like, well,
I give them the benefit of the doubt because I can easily block and delete them, but I'm not going to ignore a person that's reaching out to me when I'm asking God to send people to me that have ears to hear. it's like, so, I don't know what, so every post that Hannah does, she's got a super affiliate in the company going, great job. Congratulations. We're super proud of you. And then I'm doing it to her group. And I'm just, everyone that's posting, I'm just feeding into her. And she sends me messages all the time. Robert, I shared this video of yours. I shared this video of yours. And I just think it's hilarious that the people that are above her don't have a clue what the hell's going on. But she and I don't know. I think that when you're bold, I don't know who said that. You guys are all laughing. But when you're bold, very bold to people about who you are, what you think, and how you do things. It's like a lot of people say, Robert, I never would say any stuff that you would say. And I'm going, because you're not bold. What are you hiding? Why when people go to your Facebook page, there's only selfies of you? It's pretty obvious what your focus is. It's like, yeah, but I'm building a brand. And I said to this person just the other day, and I'm going, so do you think that people are going to be attracted to you just being attracted to you? And he goes, no one's ever said that to me. I go, people come to mind and they go down the list and they're constantly seeing me sharing this person's story, me sharing this person's story, me sharing this person's story. And it's just on and on and on and on and on and on. So people know who my people are that are succeeding because I tell the world about it. So I hope that helped you.
No, I'm here, like I said, now this last, whatever this breakthrough thing is supposed to be in the inner circle, this from last Thursday to today, it's almost like everything that's happened over the last 5 years has been, oh, okay, I get it. And I didn't have to deal with them. But now I don't have to deal with them because I've got you.
Well, when the student's ready, the teacher appears. Everyone give Rita an incredible hand and a welcome. If you guys are not all friends of people on Facebook, all the inner circles should be able to click and on an inner circle person and see everyone that's an inner circle member also their friend. Let's all love and support each other and do our best to love up on each other. So Rita, thank you so much. I love you.
Okay, I'm here, y'all. I'm listening. Whatever y'all say. I'm trying to figure it out because I'm not quitting and I've got to figure it out. I'm unemployed.
Yeah,
I'm self-employed now.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, if you want to make $7,000 a month, I don't know how many times you could listen to Joshua's interview. Because if you listen to Joshua's interview, that's how you make $7,000 a month. Right there. So I'll leave that alone. Thank you, Rita.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Welcome to the Inner Circle, Rita. We're really glad to have you with us, and thank you for sharing. Appreciate that. And by the way, Robert, the interview is posted, or the links in both, or the links to the Joshua Daramola interviews are both in YouTube and here in Zoom. So
thank you.
Everybody needs to see that.
Give Craig a hand. He's always on that, man. He's always on that. I guarantee you guys, if you listen to that video a number of times, one, you'll really get good at being like me and understanding broken English. I've worked with so many people all over the world, and I'm telling you guys, broken English is just like any other kind of English. You listen to some people in the deep South, and you listen from people from Minneapolis, y'all, and it's like, it's funny. They all got their little ways of doing broken English, but I've worked with people my whole entire life with broken English. The best auto mechanics on the planet are Vietnamese and Latinos. And so when people talk broken English, I can understand every word they're saying just because I had to listen to it all the time. And so some of you that are not used to listen to broken English, I mean, how many of you have difficulty when you hear someone with a really strong Australian accent or a British accent? Isn't it crazy that you can listen to a person and you're like, I am missing like every third or fourth word. I am, and what are you talking about? I'm talking English, not my kind of English. And so, yeah, it's like, I know that a lot of you will, go through there and go, what was he saying right here? I never even thought about that. I got to make sure that video's got subtitles on it. Maybe that will help you guys.
Well, there were subtitles on it, Robert. I think we need to make some adjustments to the subtitles and things like that.
I bet you AI is not that perfect. Oh my God, Randy put Irish, man. I got a guy friend of mine from Ireland, and I also have a friend from Scotland. Holy
oh my gosh.
cow. It's like, I'm looking at him and I'm like, what are you saying?
Okay. Short story. When I was coming home from my trip to Israel many years ago, and I was with a guy who is from the Cockney side of London, and he wanted to show me around London. And so I'm like, oh, fantastic. So we get on this little boat that's going to cruise up and down the Thames. He's partying and everything like that. And I'm watching and I'm like, is this English? And, he's carrying on the conversation like there's nothing going on. And I'm looking at there like,
Come on, Craig. You want to do the accent. Do the accent.
The Scottish accent. It's about as good as I could get it without leading up to it. Now, my Irish accent is a much better accent to deal with.
Very good, Craig.
Well, enough of that. We got still a couple more people,
Sure.
Robert, who want to break through. So I see Dee Dee Aston with her hand up, but Dee Dee, you're going to follow Arthur Wainio, who is just ahead of you. So hang on. Thank you. I appreciate that. Arthur, I know you just unmuted yourself. Let's have it. Go for it.
Hey, Robert.
Hi, Arthur. How are you?
I'm doing good. Um, Through all this, it's taken me my mind on tangents and stuff, and it kind of made me forget what my question was, but it will come back to me, I think. But it's so funny
I
that
like
you
your
mentioned.
shirt, man.
Thank you.
Read it for us.
Manifest, verb, the skill of raising your vibrations through positive thoughts and meditation to attract what you truly desire.
Amen and amen. I love that. Thank you.
It's funny that you brought up the Joshua video, because I was thinking that I was listening to it in the car when I was driving to houses, because most of the stuff that you do on YouTube, I'm listening while I'm driving, but I'm like, I can't even understand what he's saying. Like every other word, it's like, I'm like, I hope they have subtitles, because I'm gonna have to go back and like see what he's even talking about. But it's so true. Like when I went to London, I thought I was speaking English, and the person that I was talking to said they were speaking English, but he sounded like he was speaking gibberish
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
a great idea. I will go back. I know that AI does a pretty good job at getting like, 80% or whatever. But I promise you guys, I want to re-listen to it because I was in the interview. You know what I mean? So I told myself I'd go back so I can go back and pull it into Rev, have that AI do it and go through and translate for you guys.
I think it's a great video too, because it's a special video in that all the people that say that they can't do it, or they don't have enough money, or they don't have time, or that they're broke, like you can point to Joshua, who's in the poorest of poor, with no cell reception and having to drive to go get product, making it happen. It's like, you pretty much go walk to some homeless person who has a free phone from the government, who always gets Wi-Fi at McDonald's or Starbucks.
Yep.
They could start if they wanted.
Yep.
But
the reason that I resonate with those people, someone asked me one time, it was John Herensma, one of our new leaders in the company. And I seen him getting on a plane in Paris. And so we were both getting on the same plane. And he's like, what the hell are you doing here? And then, and it was funny. I said, are you going to Budapest? And he goes, yeah. And I said, what are you doing here? Because at that time he had not been public that he was leaving Visalis.
yeah.
And so, and he goes like this, and it was funny. And so we get off at Budapest, Hungary, and we were waiting for our luggage, and he walked up and he goes, why Budapest? He said, why Hungary? And I go, what do you mean? And he goes, you do know this is the poorest country in Europe. And I went, I did not know that.
But how are they poor? Like the buildings, everything looks all nice.
Yeah, it's it's the way their government is set up. It's like if you look at US dollars, first of all, their taxes are super, super high, Arthur. So you're talking that the average person in Hungary, and you can look this up on Google, they make like pretty close to 24 or 25,000 a year, US dollars. So the masses are that way, but they get taxed almost 70% of their money. So, we always talk about, in the United States that the average person makes 54,000, in the United States, but, that's a household. People don't understand that that's not a person. And then you finally figure out, well, wow, there's like 30% of the people that are actually working.
Right.
that are paying in. So it's Yeah, it's the other thing that I deal with in a lot of European countries, in South America countries too. I'm sure Africa is this way, but when you see massive poverty in other countries, it's really difficult to lift their spirits up, Arthur, because the way their government treats them is they don't own anything. Can you actually imagine growing up your whole entire life? So when you see these, really, really sad, like, in Mexico, they have this as well, but you see all these people that are living in these like shacks that are hardly nothing.
Mm.
Most of them are living on government land. They're just hanging out on government land. And so even if you own something in that country, it doesn't mean that it's yours. So you'll see people that are living in places, and they don't take care of the place, and they don't paint it, and they don't make it look nice, because if they did, the other people would just come take it away from them. And they don't make it nice because the government at any time can say, Arthur, thank you very much for, making the place look better. We'll kick you out and put someone in that can pay more. The government does that. So when you meet people that are overtaxed, in my opinion, that's learned hopelessness, man. I'm telling you, to try to get in their heads to make them believe that there's an alternative is very difficult. And then once you do it, to get them to believe that they can teach other people how to do it. And there's only one way. So if you guys wonder why I'm opportunity first, not product first, when I teach these people how to log into an app on their phone and show their back office, they only want to know one thing from me. Once they got money in their credit wallet, how can they convert that into either cash in their hand? Because a lot of the people are also unbankable. And so they don't want a bank account. They believe that the bank will take it away from them. I'll give you one other story that, it's fun to travel the world. So I built this large group in Peru. And when it was payroll time on Thursday, like we get paid, this giant armored truck would pull up, and these guys would get out with machine guns. And then another armored truck would pull up, and those guys would get out with machine guns. And so the payroll was coming from the bank for the people that were affiliates in Peru. They would line up, and they would come in, and they would sit at a table, and then we would give them their money. Right as we gave them their money, there was another person from the government that was sitting right there to take 60% of their money. So one armored truck was from the bank paying people in cash, and the other one was an armored truck from the government taking their 60% before they got their money.
That's crazy.
It is the craziest stuff you've ever seen. And so it really became weird that these people wouldn't take their money to the bank because the banks are also from the government. So if you're so used to seeing when you make money that the government's going to take their part immediately, then it sort of changes their psyche of why they would put their money in a place where the government can take some more. Yeah. So now you're trying to teach entrepreneurship, how to be a visionary. You know what I mean? And man, I've helped thousands and thousands of family that they were the first person in their family to get a car or get a new car. They were the first person in their family that bought a home, moved their whole damn family in it. But that's why I do this business, Arthur. I really, really do. If you guys don't know that I do it for other people, that's my magic. They feel it, they know it. I'm all about making sure that, Joshua not only figured out how to get a credit wallet, but how to take that credit wallet and withdraw it. And now his leaders are doing it. And it's like, man, I guarantee you're showing up and say, Arthur, listen, you know anyone that needs to make extra money? What is this? Listen, I made $7,000. No, I made 3.2 million naira last month, when the average person makes 300,000 naira. It's like, Do you understand the mentality of them? Is I really, pardon my language, you guys, I don't really give a shit what you do. I'm doing it. It's like that scene from Wall Street. You show me a check for $70,000. I'm calling my freaking boss right now. I'm quitting and I work for you. That's what happens in poor countries when you start getting the buzz going. So you guys watch what happens, you know, just like what happened in Budapest and Nigeria. There'll be 5 or 6 people that'll hit 250K before the end of the year.
Crazy. Well, I just wanted to say also that Rita, I'm somewhere down under Aaron too. I don't know where. The person that actually brought me in was an affiliate marketer. They brought me in saying, "Oh, we can set up a funnel and run traffic to it and get people in." They were under a guy named Ortiz or something, who was under Chris Record, and Chris Record was under Aaron Parker at somewhere in the line.
Chris
So-
Record was under the Popas.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know like the whole lineage of everything, and then like when I came in, I was told to join like 6 different groups, and like each
Sorry.
leader.
I'm sorry. I
wanted
should
their
not
own
be
group.
laughing at that.
So like I was like confused because each person had their own system and way of running things. And then so I was told to join the vision group. I was told to join the My Daily Choice group, the Ortiz guys group, a couple of the other leaders group, the power team group, like all these different groups. And I'm like, oh my God, and everybody has like these fast starts and they're all different.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually find Robert until where did I find you? Oh, when you started giving your stuff away for free, but then you took all your courses off, and then I was like,
Yep.
I'm screwed. But then Robert came back and started doing training. He erased all those and started doing training. But I talked to Aaron. I actually, that screenshot that I sent you with all of his products, I bought them all from him.
Yep.
So he got rid of all of them. I'm like, send them over my way. I'll pay you for them. He gave me a good deal. I might buy all of his travel cards too. We'll see.
Arthur, you're a good man. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, it was like when I was looking at the photo, I'm like, that's like $1,200 worth of product there. I paid him $530 for it, and I'm like,
Good deal.
I'm like, give it to me. I'll use it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And even with the travel cards, I was thinking I'll take those because I only have like 31 of them to give away. I'm like, even if I get those, I can give them away as like incentives for people engaging on Facebook or something like that. Kind of like a limited amount. Give away 3 on a post or something like that. But the other thing that you brought up was like Ray Higdon. I'm like, that's interesting that you brought up like Ray Higdon about, he did something last week, or he made a post last week of something that he's doing for prospecting for his seminar thing.
Hey, have you guys seen Eric Worre's new prospecting? They're all like, gotta put their new prospecting thing together. And
no, but he always professed that he didn't like the voice message on Messenger. He didn't like it. And so he always told people to do the cold message with the script, with the text. And I'm like, maybe that's because Ray doesn't like using voice messages. So he's telling everybody not to send them.
Right.
And then last week he said, oh, I'm doing something new in prospecting. I'm not, people are getting tired of seeing the text, and it's like, you send a text and nobody responds. So I started like sending voice messages to my warm market. And I'm like,
it would be when I started doing stuff with Eric Worre. It's funny because you guys all know I'm in the field. I've never ever made money other than my commissions, So when I first hooked up with Eric, I was doing voice clips back then, and we were I was promoting with Eric for a while, for 5 years. I spoke at his event 5 times, closed it out twice. And that's where I met Ray and some of these other people. Right. And it was funny because I was telling them, listen, you got to do voice clips. This is how it works. You connect with people. And I did, that's when I realized that a majority of people are just not willing to want to build a long-term friendship with people. And I'm going like, don't you understand what network marketing is? You know what I mean? Network marketing, how many of you can imagine having 300, 400 people that you all knew by first name that were in your organization buying every month? Do you guys understand how much damn money you would be making? It's like, how can you bring them in, close them with a package, and then abandon them? I don't get this concept. So it was like 3 years working with Eric Worre, and he went to Europe, run into some other leader that just had this incredible idea. So they're going to teach it. And I go, what is this? And he goes, oh my God. You do you know with your phone, these people send text messages to people, and they say, Arthur, you know, we haven't connected in a while. Is there any way possible we could sit down for a cup of coffee? And I was going, this has got to be 14, 15, 16. So yeah, 2016. I go, you figured out text messaging? Oh my God. And there's not too many times where I make fun of people that I'm, you know, supposedly equal with, where I just look at them, they go, Robert, man, you're such an asshole sometimes. And I'm going like, hey, when you know, because these people are still teaching email, you know what I mean? I'm going like, and I would just look at him and I was just going, do you use FaceTime? Yeah. You use video conferencing with who? Well, this is how I connect with my wife and my son and my grandkids. I'm going, why? Why would you use video conferencing to talk to people that you care about and love? Well, it's better than just a voice. I go, you're an asshole. Because you won't even use the voice. You'll use texts and emails to contact people that you care about. And I would nail them every time. They would go. And I know that you've probably seen that interview that I did with Ray Higdon on, you know, I told him I went to Ray, their daughter's
The birthday.
No, it wasn't her birthday. It was the not bridal shower. What do you call it when you're having a kid?
Baby
Women,
shower.
help me out.
Baby shower. Baby shower.
A baby. So, it just happened to be on one of the coaching days that I was there. I went there and was doing a coaching day with him before I hired him to help me build my brand. So that was like a $3,000 coaching day. And something happened with the weather or whatever. So I had to extend over, and then he invited me to the baby shower. So then he was going, well, yeah, I want to interview you. And I go, what about? And he goes, what's this bullshit about asking people to do you a huge favor? And I go, I'm not going to explain it to you. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, let's do an interview. And he goes, oh, you're going to call me out right in the middle of it. I said, hey, it might turn out that way. He just looked at me. So we're not even in it. He goes, I'll explain this thing. And then he looks at the camera, and it's the best part ever. He says, now I just want my audience to know that I teach against this. You know what I mean? And I'm going, yeah, you're doing it wrong. And so by the time I explain it to watch him come all the way around to going, I understand. You're looking at everyone as a gateway or a doorway to the people that will actually do the business. I was like, yeah. And if you do it correctly, the person that gave you the contact will actually get paid. How much would they change if you reached out to someone and say, hey, Arthur, did you log into your back office and look at your credit wallet? I don't even know what a credit wallet is. What is that?
Money.
And it's like, there's nothing fun than taking a free affiliate and getting them a payday and then getting them to go. Because their pitch is different now, right? Now they're reaching out and say, Arthur, listen, I got in this company. I know what you're going to say, but I freaking got paid today. How'd you get paid? That's the funny thing. I don't understand this. Melody, she's posted in here. Melody, man, when she learned that she could just edify and give praise and recognition to me, Melody's a master. She's a master. You could reach out to Melody and say, how's the comp plan work? You know, I made hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know how the comp plan works. I get excited. I give praise and recognition to Robert. I put people's videos in front of them. And then I tell them, hey, listen, Robert showed you how to create a free affiliate account. Here's my link. Did you create a free affiliate account? Yeah, but I want to know what this is about. I even did this with a guy today. And he says, I want to see a presentation on the company. I said, become a free affiliate and I'll show you exactly where it is. And what I do, Arthur, is I send them links to things I want them to watch that's in their back office. So I send them the link, they'll click on it, and they're not an affiliate. They got to create an affiliate account to go see it. And I'm like, it's fun for me because you know how much I believe in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remembered my questions now.
Okay.
One question, for the Science of Getting Rich videos.
Yeah.
Am I able to download those and just put them on my own YouTube or no?
If you want, do you know how to do it?
Yeah, I have a ripper that can rip all videos.
For all the Inner Circle members, you can steal everything that I have.
Well, it's not me just necessarily stealing it. I just want to see how many times.
Yeah, I used the wrong word. What's mine is yours, Arthur.
Okay.
Okay, what's mine is yours. Here's a funny thing that I do with Arthur. With if people are trying to play an ego game with me, I tell people, I say, do me a favor, just really quick. They say, sure. I say, go to Google, put in Robert Hollis, and Google me. Now, as soon as you get done Googling me, I said, don't look at anything. Click on videos. And they click on videos. And I did this at a live event with Ray Higdon on Ray Higdon's stage. And Jeff Roberti, my upline in the other company, was there. And I said, first slide that I threw up there, I said, number one thing, if you're going to talk to people want to know who the hell, why should I listen to you? And who the hell are you? I said, every one of you grab your phones right now, Google Robert Hollis. Now I want you to click on videos. And there was like 300 people there. I go, Ray, how many do you have? Not as many as you. I go, Jeff Roberti, and he's like, stop it. I'm going, so the goal is some of you don't know me. Now you know how to find my free information, but you also know how many videos I have. Arthur, this is how I had so many videos. I would do the stair steps to freedom, right? And then if you notice in the YouTube description, there's a link to Google Drive.
Yeah, I've seen that. I didn't see him on the Science of Getting Rich, though.
Right. But you know how to rip them. And I tell people, listen, what's mine is yours. If you wanted to take my whole YouTube channel and take the best videos, go to video and click on most popular and find my best videos and take my videos and put them on your channel, do it.
I think what I will do is like with some of your videos, I'll take like snippets like what Matt is doing, but I'll remix them like with me coming in there and with some commentary.
Yeah.
That's what I was like thinking of doing just to put some content out there. And some people like have asked, like Robert Hollis said, I feel like we talk every day, even though we don't, but you do a video every day. So you're talking to me. So it's like, well, I'm close to him. I talk to him like every day, pretty much in my head. In my head, I talk to you every single day.
We do. So Arthur, please use my videos. I would tell everybody that always uses basically the stair steps to freedom in the video that I do showing people how to make $5,000. If you guys really knew the target market that I go after, I'm just looking for people that need to make extra money. Well, what is this? I'll send you a short video, because if you guys realize what I do, it's like I key that video at 120 seconds in, 126 seconds in, because the very first thing, if people have a 5-second attention span, I need them to hear. What I'm going to do is really quickly just log into my online banking. If you guys seen the stats of my videos, it'd freak you out. So people are like, okay. So I'm only looking for the people that I'm looking for. So the other one is people go, well, I said, I'll show you how to make $5,000. You want to make $5,000? Yeah. And I sent them the $5,000 video. And if you notice, both videos have the key videos of what I'm promoting right there. I'm telling people what to do. And so if people are like, well, I really don't want to make money. Okay. Be a customer, buy the products, do whatever you want. But I'm looking for people that want to make 6 figures plus a year.
One other question.
Sure.
A while ago, when you started the Inner Circle group, you said you were going to be doing a video of the over the shoulder of you connecting with people. Is that coming?
It's coming. You guys keep beating on me. It's funny because I'm human. I am human. And I'm not going to give excuses. It's just keeps doing things that makes me think that I might change that process because I want the process to be, and then something happens with what he does and I go back to what I did anyway. So you guys heard the process with Joshua, but I have so many brand new people underneath Aaron and the Popas and stuff that are reaching out to me. Is I will work and get that video done.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I guess I'm a couple levels up now.
Yeah.
Getting close. I'm getting closer to your front line.
Yeah. Just all of you pretend that I'm your upline. I don't know if some of you remember this story, but I was 7 levels deep on Bill. Yeah. And so when that guy from the Middle East confronted me, it's like, well, we're at a national convention for the company, NSA, National Safety Associates. Did your sponsor walk the stage? Okay.
My
Did his
sponsor
sponsor
walked
walk
out.
the stage? Did his sponsor walk the stage? He kept drilling me, Arthur, until there was someone that he knew. Well, who brought them in? So it was, Sean was brought in by his roommate, Craig. Well, who brought Craig in? His boss, Brent. Well, who brought Brent in? Michelle Turan. I don't know Michelle. Who brought her in? Peter Wilson. Who brought Peter in? Sherry Sharman. Sherry Sharman's front level to Bill Gould. And Bill Gould's front level to my sponsor, Jeff Roberti. He goes, I'm going to tell you how to be successful. You ready? Yeah. On Monday, you call NSA and you tell them that you want Bill Gould to give you a call. He goes, listen closely, you guys. Very close. Leaders look for people that want to be leaders all day long. They're looking for someone that's hungry, that will pay attention, that's coachable. You leave a message for Bill, NSA will leave Bill a message, Bill will call you. And right away, I was thinking he's a national marketing director, which would be the same as a super affiliate in this company. And I would be a very, very, very broke person. So in my mind, I'm like, hey, this guy told me to do it. Who's your money man? And Bill called me. I left a message Monday morning because it was Memphis time. So I got up at 7 o'clock in the morning because I knew they were open at 9. And Bill called me at 11 o'clock. And so it was like 9 in the morning Pacific time. And Bill called me, is this Robert Hollis? I said, yes, sir. And he says, NSA said that you wanted to get a hold of me. And I said, yeah, I guess I'm somewhere in your group. He goes, I met you a couple of weeks ago in LA at the One Wilshire building. You're the auto mechanic. Shit, Arthur. I was like, this guy remembers who I am. You know what I mean? And he's going, yeah, I remember you. And I said, yeah, I said, I'm reaching out to you because I want to work with you. And he goes, how fast can you get here? I'm in San Diego. And man, I didn't have no money, man. And I said, give me the address. I'm on my way. Spent 3 days with him. And everything he taught me was stuff I've never heard before. You know, the people that I was learning from, Peter, and there was a guy named Wes Martin, and Wes Martin had won awards for selling Britannica and encyclopedias door to door. So I don't even need to get into what the hell these people were teaching me. And then he said to me straight out, he said, listen, I'm gonna describe to you a person, and I want you to give me a first name, and I'll help you build your group. And he got on the phone, didn't even talk like 10 minutes, and Rick was on his way down. He lived in Simi Valley. Bill Gould got my cousin Rick to drive from Simi Valley to San Diego. And if you guys don't know what that is, that's like 3 hours. Yeah. Rick sat down. This is a no-brainer. I'm coming in at the top position. I was like, Yeah. So it is funny talking to somebody. And you know what Bill would do all the time, Arthur? I probably don't say this enough. Bill would go, I know you don't know me. So I'd like to share something with you. He'd reach in his coat pocket or open up his briefcase, and he'd hand people this envelope. And right on the envelope, it said NSA, Company with a Heart. Had the open window where you could see his name, and you'd open it up, and the check was $62,000, and it was still attached to the stuff. And when people seen that, they would go, and everyone did the same thing. They would look at it and go, 62,000. And they would just go, he goes, yeah, that's for a month. And you're like, fuck. Yeah, I mean, it just like, I would watch him do that all the time. So if you guys heard of a company called ACN, billions of dollars that it's made. I did the same thing. Bill taught us that you did not cash your check until the next check. You could show your next check. So Tony and Mike Koopas put all these people in the room. This is a cool story. You guys are going to love this. And I'm standing up there, and I got cowboy boots, wearing Wranglers, had, instead of a Tommy Hama shirt, I had a Western shirt, mullet, full beard. And I'm in front of like 20 people. They put me in front of, and I'm going through the circles, and there was a guy, his name's Rick Belger. He ends up being the #1 person that I had in my group in NSA. And he raises his hand, and everyone had a few beers. And he says, hey, I got a question. I turned around, and he goes, how do I know you're telling us what we're supposed to do? How do we know this to be fact? And I said, you guys I guess just got to trust me. And he goes, you do know trust me means fuck you and Jewish, right? So I apologize to you people. And I went, what would you guys do in your first meeting with 20 people and someone does that? I walked over to my briefcase, pulled out an envelope, handed it to him. He opened it up, looked at it. I said, so we don't have to pass it around. Can you tell everybody how much the check is? They went $38,264. I said, it's attached to the stub. He says, I see it. And I went, fuck you, that's my name. And Mike and Tony Koopas, when he got me, they stood up and high-fived their friend. Good one. And then I did that to Rick, and he high-fived me. And Rick Velger, his father and uncle, if you guys hear the story, they own the largest marinas on the Great Lakes, the Velger family. And that kid was in that meeting. That kid's center of influence, Arthur, man, he went straight to the national marketing director, super affiliate, and I think like 8 months. Sold $1 million in volume in 8 months. Because it was like, he would walk out to people and say, hey, I'm Rick Velger. Velger Marinas? Yeah. Anyway, I want to talk to you about a business opportunity. It was like, man, we had lawyers, we had insurance people, we had interior decorators, real estate people. It was like, it was a frenzy, man. It was so much fun.
So you used a line there from Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yes. Yes. It's like, yeah. So sorry for cussing, but I wanted to tell the story as true as I could get it. And so, it's like, people don't want to show their back office, but you guys got to understand that your back office, regardless of the numbers that you have, there's billions of people that would love the money that you have in your back office. Do not be ashamed of it. I wasn't ashamed of it when I first started making money, and I'm still doing it. I showed my back office, asked Craig and Melody, I showed my back office when I had my first check was $0 and my second check was $70. I was like, let me show you my back office, because how many of you would like an extra payday of $70 this week? Isn't that crazy? And I'm going, so next week it's like 1,200, and then next week it was 5,400, and it just like, yeah. And then I was showing Melody's back office. So yeah, that's fun. Arthur, thank you for pulling that out of me, man. You always pull good stuff out of me.
No problem. Thank you.
You bet.
Arthur,
So
wow.
it's almost 6, so we'll close her out.
Okay.
Let's have a couple of things.
Well, I don't know if you got the message. Linda Collins just wanted to make a small statement if she is still available.
Yes, of course.
Okay, Linda, I'm going to need you to turn your camera on, or if you can't, go ahead. I'm going to unmute you. Or at least I sent you an unmute. There she is. Okay. Go ahead, unmute.
Okay.
And
Hi,
gotcha.
Robert. Hello, Robert. Hello, Craig. Hello, everyone on the panel. Well, Robert, I come to offer my deepest apology for not showing up today. Life goes upside down sometimes around here, and it's a lot going on here and around. So I missed that meeting today, but I thank you for being there for them. And it's just like Arthur said. Arthur, I was on Robert's training when he had it for free. He was giving it away for free in the back office for free. And when he pulled the plug, I like to die. I did. I had you word from word, word from word, word from word, and I had got to that level where I was not afraid to say it and could be bold about it. But then all of a sudden the training went Zoom, and I went, oh God, I'm lost. I'm lost. So I was mad for a while at you. But then I said, and I walked away. And I went other places looking for training. But it's so strange that sometimes I'm learning now, sometimes things happen for a reason. Everything happens for a reason.
Amen.
So, and then you get to come back. I end up coming right back where I started from in the beginning. So I say thank you. Thank you. Processes are very slow. Sometimes we want things to be so fast, and sometimes we do it the wrong way. And a lot of times we do it the wrong way. But you learn. It's step by step by step by step. And I got books upstairs where I was writing down notes. I don't know if Arthur was writing down notes, but I still got my old books upstairs where I was writing down, from all the and then when you brought it back, my notes are still in there that I put
Yes.
in the notes section. And I was so happy when I saw that when it came back. I come back to roberthollis.com and my trainings were still in there. And I was like, oh my God, my notes are still there,
Wow.
all that I didn't write down, but I thank you. And it was to listen to Josh the other day. It's what you want for everybody,
Yes.
everybody. And I'm in a fellowship now, and people say rich people cannot serve God. Why not? We've listened to your story. We've listened to you seeing you come from where you was to where you are now. And your love for God has not changed.
No, it's gotten better.
It gets better and better. So I think it's a shame when people think that wealthy people cannot love God. How did they get there? How did they get from where they was to where they are? And you've told your story. And it's a lot going on, a lot I have to process.
Right.
But I just wanted to say, I wanted to openly apologize. Openly apologize.
I love you.
My time and it's a lot going on that I need to get.
I pray for you. I pray for you, Linda, daily. It's in God's hands. I forgive you, and it's forgotten.
Please.
And
Yes.
we're gonna build a large group. We're gonna build a large group in Ghana for you. That's for damn sure.
Amen. It's gone. But thank you.
Thank you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Love you. And I know time is going on, and everybody's got to get dinner. But thank you. And
You bet. I love you. Great. Okay, Craig, close her out.
All right, Linda, thank you so very much, and glad that you are back with us. Very, very much.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here on the Inner Circle, our breakthrough session. Just want to let everyone know the information that we posted in the chats are there. If you want to download the ones that are in Zoom, which are the same as the ones that are on YouTube, which will be in the description on the YouTube when we get back to it. It's very simple to do the Zoom download. Is you just basically click on the three dots in the chat and then click on Save Chat, and it will download directly to your computer as soon as we complete this presentation. Thank you, each and every one of you, for participating. John Tier, Rita Brooks, Arthur Wainio, Linda Collins, and we thank you for watching because you help make this go. We love you and we appreciate you. And of course, we got to give it up to Matthew Hollis. Matt, bless you. Thank you for being our executive producer, for being here and being our foundation. So, Robert, again, bless you. Thank you so much for all your guidance, your wisdom. And ladies and gentlemen, until next time, please be good to yourselves. Be cash. Bye-bye. And I'm going to open it up so that everybody can say so long. Thank
you, everybody. Good night, everyone. Good night.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Nancy. Ghana.
Good night. Later.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, Arthur, John, Linda, Dee Dee,
See you tomorrow.
Sarah, Deborah, Melody, Randy. Love you guys.